Good evening friends. Today we are going to learn how to work with the button control. Simple form is designed which is having text box to read the number 1, one button control, and again text box 2 to display the data. Here what we want to do is when user clicks on the button control, it should display double the value which is inputted into the text box. Now if you run the form, if I input here 45 and if I click on the double, it gives me the 90. That means it is working perfectly. Now just go through the code. Here the code is there. First of all, take the data from a text box. Here we have done the conversion because the data present within text box is by default considered as a string. So that data we have to convert into the integer. So it takes integer n1, then answer equal to n1 into 2 because we want to double it. And then we want to display data into the text box. Now answer is integer and we want to display data into the text box using text property. So text property prefers a string data and our answer is an integer. So that's why this toString is attached over here. Now I want to perform this. Take number 1, take number 2, and when user clicks on add, subtract, divide and multiply, correspondingly I want to display here result. Already form is designed. So to run with the form 2, go to the program.cs, change this to form 2 and run this. So the first number is 23, tab second number is 12, make the addition, subtraction, division. It gives me the integer format because I have taken this answer as an integer. Then for the multiplication, if you give here the second number is larger and if you click on the subtract, it won't give you minus, it gives you the proper answer because program is written in that way. Just go through the coding. So here this is the program for button 1 control which makes the addition. This is button 2 for the subtraction. Here I am checking which number is greater. If n1 is greater, subtract n2 from it, or else subtract n1 from this. This is for multiplication and this is for division. Now if you check this program, button 1, button 2, button 3 and button 4, in all the program only calculation part is different. Like here we have used n1 is equal to answer equal to n1 plus n2. Here we are doing subtraction, here we are doing multiplication, and here we are doing the division. Okay, but initial steps are common to read data into the n1 and n2, and next statement after the calculation the statement is same to display answer into the text box. But here we have written 4 different functions which will be called depending upon the which button we have clicked. But in all these programs only calculation step is different, rest part is same. So in your program, on your form, if the different button controls are there, and on this button controls logically if you want to implement same program, here logically it is different, logically only calculation is different but remaining statements are same. So in such cases, instead of writing separate function on each and every button, we can write the single function which will be called by all the buttons which are common, and depending upon the selection of the button, it will execute the corresponding program. Now to try this, let's go to add a new form. This is my form 4. Just increase the size, make it maximize the Windows state property as a maximized. Now I will add 3 button controls, time wane, just for the learning purpose. Okay, and I am taking one text box just to indicate which button is clicked by the user. Okay, just for your reference. On button 1, suppose I am writing here B1. For button 2 I am writing B2, and for button 3 I am writing B3. Generally when we want to write the code, we just double click on the button. But now instead of directly double click on the button, what I will do here is go to the property sheet. This is your property sheet. If it is not displaying the property sheet, click here. This will display your property sheet, or you can press F4. It will give you the property sheet. In property sheet, this is one lightning button is there. If you click on this lightning button, it will give you the event. So by default click event is connected. So here I am giving function as a call common, and if I press enter key, it goes to the programming mode, call common. Now for the time being I am giving here textbox1.text equal to hi. Okay, hi. Now same function I want to execute on B2 and B3. So again I go to the design mode. You can go here directly design mode, or right click and go to the view object. Now select button 2. Don't double click on the button 2. Just select the button 2. Go to the event, then click event, and here now you attach here call common. Similarly select button 3, go to the click event and attach call common. Now to execute the form 4, go to the program.cs and make here form 4. Okay. Now if I run this, if I click on button 2, it is giving me hi. If I stop this, again if I rerun, it executes B3, and again if I run this, it gives me B4. That means this indicates on all the 3 buttons, when I click it, it goes to execute the call common. Now I want to change this. Depending upon B1 I want to display hi, on B2 I want to display hello, and in B3 I want to display how are you. Now how to do this? Go to the again code. Here I am in the code. Now this same program will get executed for all the 3 buttons now. Now which button is calling the program, that is given by the sender. Sender of object gives you which button is calling corresponding function, that is call common. So to get this, first of all I will create one object of type button B, that I will connect to the sender. Now this will generate error because button B is a object of type button, but sender is a general object. So we have to cast this to the button. This concept remains same for text box also, that we will discuss afterwards. So now this sender object is converted to the button and it is connected to the B. Now if you want to check what it displays, I can use here b.text now, just for the sake what it gives me. So if I click on button 1 B1, it gives me the B1, B2 and then B3. Got it? So now I can use here switch B dot text. If this text is B1, then within text box you display hi, and then use brick. Okay. If it is case B2, that is the text is B2, then in text box 2 I will display hello. Then break is important, and then if it is B3, then I want to display how forget this now. Okay, so first of all, if you click on button 1, button 2 or button 3, any one button, your .NET framework will give you the sender who is calling this function, whether it is button 1, button 2 or button 3. This sender we are typecasting to the B. B is object of type button. Now then we are taking the text. You can take text, you can take name property, no problem. But easy is text because we have written B1, B2 and B3. So the object which is calling, the sender object which is calling this function, if that is having text as a B1, then display hi. If it is B2, then display hello. And if it is a B3, then display how are you. Now run this. Hi, hello, and then how are you. Okay. This is adding the code between all the buttons. Now we shift to our program. Here, this is what we want to do now in form 3 now. On form 3, depending upon the button, we want to display the result. We want to write a single program. Already we have learned the separate coding program. This is for button 1, button 2, button 4 and button 3. But first 3 lines are common and last 5 lines common, only middle calculation part is different. So instead of writing program for each and every button separately, now I want to write the single program on all the buttons. So first of all, select the button, first button, go to the event property and event property here. I am now giving function name as call operation. Okay, and in this call operation now, I will first copy the word program of anyone. Just copy paste it. 3. And then I go to the design mode, select the button, go to the event, go to the click event and then use call operation. Then select next button, go to the event, connect call operation. Go to the multiply, click event and then call operation. Okay, so on all the 4 buttons we have added the single function, that is call operation. Call operation, button 3, call operation, button 4, call operation. Now go to the code mode as done previously. Button B equal to typecast it sender switch b dot text just for the simplicity. Now I am doing this. Then I can use here add, subtract, divide and then multiply. Then this part you add it over here, and this part now I add to the subtract. And now for addition, make it here plus. For the division, make here division. And for the multiplication, make here multiplication. One problem is here it gives you one error, answer, because answer value we are calculating into the switch, and while compiling your compiler it won't enter into the switch part. So whether it is going to check whether value is assigned or not. If you go to the error here, it will give you use of unassigned local variable answer, though we are using here. While compilation time it won't enter into the switch. So here I am giving value as a 0. Now check here, it won't generate, the error is removed. Now if I run this program, form 3, we are on form 3 here, 23 and then 2, add, subtract, divide, multiply. It is not working with divide and subtract. Spelling is wrong. It should match with the spelling SUBTRACT, SUBTRACT, and then DIVIDE, DIVIDE. That is correct. Sorry, here it must be N1 divided by N2. Run this. So if I get here, then add, subtract is not still working, divide is working now, multiply is SUBTRACT. So now this errors is showing you now that the text which we are displaying here on the button controls, those text must match here, SUBTRACT, correct. Now this will give you one more lesson that it must match. Okay. So best way is, instead of giving long names, best way, now here it is in event mode, you go to the property mode. Best way is you can give here plus, then minus, then divide, and then multiply. This is the best way. Now in this here we have to change this, make it as a plus, minus, divide, then multiply. Best option. Got it? Plus, minus, divide and multiplication. Okay, you try this, and if you got any problem, do write me on this patilsangram@hotmail.com. Thank you and all the best. Try this.